and somehow like it just canceled my membership out of nowhere. So I was using the free version when I was streaming, and then it would crash and I'd get mad. So I'm like, I'm done with XSplit.
Yep, that'll get you, bro. That'll get you. I don't know. The new one's weird though. I like never know when I'm live because it like does like a ping test, right? So I have like a holding screen now. You should use it, bro. It's
I'll probably pay for it. Right now OBS isn't that bad though. It's free. I said if it doesn't work out, I'll just.
Hey, what is your YouTube so I can throw it in? Like
YouTube.com/snakebitefps. I just got partnered on.
Whoa! Who'd you partner with?
TGN. Do you know?
Nice. That? Yeah, I did this. I rock with TGN. Yeah. All right, so you ready to kick this thing in the testicles or what?
Yep.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Gandhi's Thoughts, brought to you by Mind Nutrition. This is number 73, at least I think. It might be 72, I forget. Anyways, I have a very cool guest. He's a man who's starting to make his full-on comeback here in the Halo scene, Snakebite, a.k.a. PJ. PJ, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. It's been a grind with Halo lately.
Yeah, it's good. It's actually nice to see. So there's other videos I've done with PJ about his whole background story, so we're not fucking covering that, all right? We agree on that? We're done with that?
Yeah. It could be I can make it quick, but
no.
Yeah.
Basically, all you need to know is he's a savage.
Used to be.
Used to be a savage. Now you're washed.
Yeah, dude.
You're washed, man.
You don't go to some Halo events, and all of a sudden people start thinking you're not good anymore.
Hey, dude, that's the nature of it. Dude. You got to get used to it. So, PJ, I guess where I want to pick up from, which is something where I can actually officially do now, since basically your career has taken a complete 180 in the Halo 4 whole timeline here, is so I want to pick up between Halo Reach and Halo 4. For you ended Halo Reach at the highest point possible because you won the final event. Going into Halo 4, I'm assuming you thought you were going to be able to continue this. You were young. You were, what, 16?
17 at the time. Yeah, we were a really young team.
Yeah, so what happened at the drop of Halo 4?
The drop of Halo 4 is obviously the Dallas exhibition. Was it Dallas? The exhibition?
Yep, Dallas.
So it was Dallas. Obviously, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. A lot of people cheated. Our team was one team that didn't cheat. Status Quo playing Friday and Saturday got completely. I was on Status Quo for those of you that don't know. Myself, Flame, Naval, Royal 2 got completely demolished. Sunday we had a lot of talks. They handed out these maps. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
No, I wasn't there. I was not there.
So. Oh yeah. Did you get sick?
Yeah, dude. I caught bronchitis. It was actually badass because a couple. Well, Flamesword hooked me up with a plane ticket.
Yeah, I remember.
And I was getting ready to head out there. I think it was actually going to be in talks of coaching you guys.
Really?
Yeah, it was. We were floating that idea around. But so continue.
Anyway, so they handed out these maps. If you guys attended the event, you know what I'm talking about. And Saturday night, we stayed up to 2 a.m. Literally just pen and paper, describing where everything is on the map and stuff like that. And going into Sunday, I think we were top 40 at the time or something like that. And we came out and we got to the top 3, and we gave Ambush a good run. We lost 2-1. We choked game 1 to win. To be honest, both teams that beat us, being Warriors and Ambush, the two teams that placed in front of us, cheated. So I mean, it is what it is. I don't care anymore. At the time, I was pretty mad at the time.
I thought, not to interrupt you. Well, actually, to completely interrupt you, I thought that only Snipedown played early.
Snipedown played early. APG went to a LAN in Florida. I mean, I teamed with APG. He told me he went to a LAN in Florida, and then they played it Thursday. People say that they don't count that people playing Thursday as cheating, but I count it as cheating because I did not play Thursday.
Okay, fair enough.
I Friday like everyone else. Hines didn't cheat because he was in the same boat I was with Hurricane Sandy. About how all the power was out and stuff like that. And then Formal played it. Formal really didn't play it at all. He played it on Thursday as well. But APG did play it in Florida, and Snipedown played it. They didn't play it nearly as much as Warriors did at the time, but
gotcha.
Still cheating.
Yeah. So
Snipedown went off on us because we didn't know where he was on the map, because we didn't know the map well enough to shut him down.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
So after that was done, were you just kind of lose your faith in the Halo community in a way?
Not at all. I mean, to be honest, I was kind of mad at the time, and our whole idea of it was look, we just got there without practicing, and if we made it to the finals, I mean, Goofy himself even said it, we probably would have beat them. He even said it himself to me because we were mad because we knew they cheated. We talked to them about it before we even played them, and afterwards they beat us. They talked trash to us, and like we were just like, "Why? We know you cheated. Why would you do that?" Like, you know what I mean? It's just not something. They're known for doing that. Like, it's not really a big deal, but they're known for talking crap after you win, which is probably one of the most disrespectful things you can do. We were actually excited. Like, we were like, dude, you know, we got third, no practice. You know, these
I'd be happy.
Yeah, like, I mean, we weren't like happy because you want to win, but at the same time, like, people. I mean, I saw like the amount of like other level tweets I got because we got third. Like, oh, they beat all the cheaters. Like, it was cool, and I think that if we continued to practice, I still think we probably would still be winning. I think at least.
Interesting. So what happened after that event? So you went with your Columbus team, obviously, and so did you guys just have like, was it like a lack of MLG promoting the scene kind of thing?
Yeah, it was just a lack of money. MLG stopped holding Halo 4 events. It was AGL. Real 2 can't go to AGL. At the time, I was kind of like, I went to an AGL event and I won it. The Chicago one, the first AGL. I think it was the first AGL.
Chicago.
That was for Reach, and I kind of saw it. It wasn't really that big. I mean, obviously AGL. It was just starting out. But to me, I didn't want to play unless Royal 2 played. I teamed with him for probably 1 to 2 years. You know, it didn't really appeal to me to go. So like, we were a team. Like, even though we didn't go to the events, like, we were a team. But Royal 2 and I didn't play at all, so we fell behind a lot. I mean, that's just kind of how it went down.
Gotcha. So with Royal 2 dropping out, since you guys were basically the young duo, I mean, that's kind of like, I remember Reach, we were sitting there and we were like, oh my god, like, these guys are 16 and 15. Like, these guys have a lot of potential. That sucked for you, right? Like, having no MLG in Halo 4 at the beginning, was that kind of like a punch in the gut, seeing since like you finally climbed up to the top?
Yeah, I think Tudor and I were kind of talking about it a little bit, where he's like, I just feel bad for all the, like, kind of like Enable, myself. I'm trying to think of like other like formal players like that. Like, we only got to see the top, or what other people consider the top. I consider winning the top. I only saw it for 1 if you count in AGL, so that's a half. Like, we only got to see it for so long. I think with no Bloom, no Sprint, we probably would have kept winning. I'm not like winning every event that people would say, but I mean, I think we probably would. We're a top 2 team. I mean, we won with 9 days of practice. Like, that's a top 2 team.
Yeah.
And then Halo 4 getting third. You know, I was still excited about that. I was like, oh well, dude, like, people were scared. Like, people playing us on Sunday were like nervous to play us, and it was pretty interesting. I think that if MLG kept backing it and we were hungry to win at that time.
You were.
You had me and Royal 2, who, I mean, we're 16 and 17 years old. All we cared about, I mean, all I care about and all he cares about is winning. Flame and Enable, we brought a good side to them, where a lot of people said that they kind of lost, but we brought it back where they just cared about winning.
That's what it should be.
Yeah, I mean, it's what you need in a team. Halo 4, when it kind of started dying down, I think everyone just kind of started losing interest. It stopped. People stopped going to win events. I mean, Flame and Enable went with like Fear Itself and Victory when they played for like 1 day. I mean, they're not going to win. They have obligations to go, but that's not going to win. You know what I mean?
For sure. Now, so I guess picking up right when I guess AGL after Chicago. Because that was after MLG Columbus. So after Chicago, Halo 4 comes out, you have your exhibition, MLG basically steps away from the scene entirely, and then it kind of turns into like AGL's show. Did you, at that point, did you just not feel like putting the time in to compete for AGLs?
Yeah, a lot of it was Royal 2. I felt like I was kind of like attached to Royal 2. Like, I teamed with him for 2 years. I think it was 2 years. I don't know the exact math, but it was probably close to 2 years. And even, I mean, I attended some Halo 4 events like National and stuff like that. And to be honest, not teaming with him, I mean, like, you'll probably understand it because you've teamed this team for so long. But it's like, when you go from teaming with someone, like, it's not like missing him, but like even just in game, like, it wasn't the same. APG is a great player. I played poor, and Flame played poor. I was sick at Nashville, but I don't like telling people that because that's an excuse.
Yeah.
But you know, when he couldn't go, it was kind of like, well, I mean, you know, there's not a lot of money in it. I was in my senior year of high school. I was kind of like, there's only so much. I could have put a lot of time in if I wanted to. I'm doing it now. Like, where if I want to win, I put in a lot of time because that's what you have to do. But at the time, winning didn't seem as appealing as it used to. Like, MLG Main Stage was like, that was the goal. Like, that was the where you wanted to win. And then when you had that taken away from you, it was kind of just like, well, when I won like AGL Chicago, like, people didn't even count that as a win, and we still played like Carbon, we still played Foremost Team. It was kind of like, well, I mean, what's the point of going to these AGLs if no one counts it as a win? Because I don't go for the money, I go to win. But if you're not going to count it as a win, what's the point?
Yeah, that's, I never actually looked at it that way. I always looked at it, well, I guess, everyone gets so engrossed with money. That's what. And, that's kind of a driving force behind a lot of things. Obviously, of course,
you couldn't go because of money. I mean, that's just how it is.
So I've never really looked at it that way, like, because people always like to put AGLs way below, because the stakes aren't the same and there's not the same amount of teams. But I've never, pride-wise, that would suck, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's just kind of what I played probably between No Bloom, No Sprint. I started to play. I was good in like Halo 3. I thought I was a young kid. I was like 13 or 14 in Halo 3. At the end of it, I was on a top 8 team. Going into Reach, people, you slowly start developing into what like people think you're gonna be. And like for me in Roll 2, that was two like top players. I guess some would say a duo. No Bloom, No Sprint, and the event that we won in AGL Chicago, I played probably some of the best Halo, like No Bloom, No Sprint wise. I mean, granted there wasn't a lot of it, but I played probably some of the most ridiculous Halo. Like the last game of the series against Carbon, who got second, I went like plus 16 in a Team Slayer, and like no one like, it that doesn't count. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's gay. Yeah, that's weird. So I'm gonna fast forward through Nashville. I'm gonna fast forward through. I guess AGL 8. Who'd you go with? It was
me, Assault, or Cleatness, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah.
Maniac and Cloud.
You guys finished 5th, 6th?
8th.
7th, 8th.
Yeah.
Fair enough. What drew you to go with that team? Seeing since that BTH squad, they put in time, but they weren't like the best skill. Was that kind of like? Did you view it as kind of like a stepping stone?
Well, we were supposed to go with Status Quo for that event. Like that was supposed to be the return to Status Quo, and I still believe we would have been. Like Roll 2 and myself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I still believe it. I don't care what other people think. Like we would have been so good, just because it was like 3 days and a lot of personality issues at the time. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it talks about it or not. I don't really appreciate the way it happened with Status Quo. I probably wouldn't.
Yeah. What? So for those of you who have no idea what he's talking about, so the old school, well, the last official Status Quo squad at an MLG was Royal 2, Snakebite, Flamesword, and Enable. And they came out and they won the final Halo Reach event, No Bloom, No Sprint, which everyone kind of holds as like the best one, with losing. With winning a King of the Hill when Flamesword went 9-35 versus Instinct. It was insane casting it. I was like, holy shit.
That's when you know that you were that good. You was putting a lot of like just the dirty work, but still, like I think you were like neg 25 or something like that. Like that was just.
I think it was 9-35 or 9-34 or something.
You went neg 27. I don't know what the exact stats were. I just know it was bad.
It was bad. So these guys were really good. Now, so like Royal 2, we already heard him talk about it a little bit, and he said he had money issues. Well, before Knoxville, Status Quo reformed for 2 days, and then I guess this is where I want you to kind of take it away.
Well, basically, we were a team for like a week, and it came down to a lot of it. What it came down to was a lot of people didn't play Halo 4 at the time. Roll 2 and myself were obviously pretty far behind. I take full ownership of that. I didn't play as much as I should have. I mean, I didn't know I was going to go. I didn't know Roll 2 was going to be willing to drop more money to go than he would make. You know what I mean? Like, who would expect that? And when he said he would go because the UMG got announced too, I was kind of like, all right, like, you know what, time to practice. Roll 2 and I, for the week or 2 weeks that we were a team, we put in like 8 hours a day playing Throwdown, and plus, like at the time, it was less people than it is now playing, so it's kind of like that was a hard thing to do. Now I don't have a problem doing it. Like I have fun playing, but at the time, it was hard.
Yeah.
And then it came down.
And the game types weren't the best then too. Wasn't it still two-plot extraction and shit back then?
I don't think so. I think it was.
No, that was the one after that.
Yeah, I think it was. I don't know what the game types were. I just remember it was 4-shot because that's why Royal 2 came back, because he actually liked the 4-shot.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that was way after 2-plot. Okay.
Yeah. So like what it came down to really was one Flame was at Tots' house, and Roy was over there. And if you know them, it's kind of like, I mean, like it's just hard. Like when you're with another group of people, and they're like Roy wasn't playing at the, I don't think Roy. Yeah, Roy wasn't playing at the time. Tots isn't playing, obviously. So it's kind of like, I get it's hard to be focused there, but you know it. I didn't appreciate, like, he would try to get on like 1 o'clock. I'd work at 7. Meanwhile, I'm playing since like 6. And I'm like, yeah, I've already played 8 hours. Like, why can't we get on? Nabel, one of the stories that just amazes me, and this is something that I didn't appreciate at all, is I mean, they already know this. That's why it's not really a big deal. And Nabel was like gonna go to a beach house for a week, and we're like, well, dude, Knoxville's in 3 weeks. Like, Road 2 and I haven't played. Like, we gotta practice. We can't be taking like weeks off. And he's like. And I was like, well, like, all right. Row 2's like, well, if you go, I'm not going to the event. I was like, all right, well, Ian, like, you know, so what are you going to do? His response is, depends what the weather is.
What?
Yeah, and I'm just kind of like, all right, dude, like, that's like, throw the controller, like, all right, dude, we're not, this is terrible. And then, like, again, like, the next day, like, 1 o'clock, I get a text, like, yo, we getting on? I'm like, yeah, I've been on since, like, 4, I'm getting off. It just didn't work out. And then, like, the whole retirement thing, he said he did. I don't know. And then the next day he comes back. I don't know about that. I found out that Flame, when Enable said he still wanted to team with us after he came back, because he said he didn't want to play Halo anymore. Yeah. And then I found out that Flame didn't want to team with Royal 2 and I because we didn't put enough time and stuff like that. Probably, I mean, it's nothing against B-Man and Neighbor. I even tried to team with B-Man when I kind of got, like, dropped, whatever. But to not team with me, Enable, and Royal 2, I don't know. Plus, a lot of personal things were said at Knoxville between him and I. So
you know, I guess since I have you, and since you've kind of been on the outskirts, we've talked about it. Well, we've hinted at it with Neighbor in my last interview, and he was saying, I was asking him, like, you know, what's going on with your team, like, what's your plans and everything like that, and he basically said that, you know, what we know, but a lot of people don't know, is you know, if you fall outside of that, like, inner circle of good players, then it's hard to get a team.
Oh, without a doubt.
I guess, can you paint the picture for the viewer?
All right, so basically, when it comes to pro players, I try to be friends with everyone. I consider every pro player, I have mutual respect. I don't care really if some people don't respect me. I don't know what I would do to deserve that. But basically, one of the problems that I had, and I think it'll paint a really good picture, is with status quo, we became such. I mean, we teamed for like 2 years. Granted, there were no events, but we were a team. Like, Skypes every day. I mean, like, I don't know how if you consider that much of a team, but you know, once we stopped teaming, I kind of, like, you got to realize, like, I hadn't talked to any other pro player about anything for like a year.
Yeah.
So when it came down to that, like, people didn't want to team with me because I didn't really like communicate with anyone or anything like that. So I mean, that's kind of how it is. For Neighbor, like he doesn't surround himself with other players, especially some of the top players. So to get picked up is even harder. One of the best ways to get picked up is to have a good personal relationship with the other person. Like, I think that's even probably why I got picked up by Requiem, where it's just, if you're not friends with the person, the chances you are that you're going to team is not good at all.
Gotcha. So really what we're trying to say is be friendly or you're fucked.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Essentially, I mean, that's really how it is at a pro level. It sucks to say, but it's
sad too because I'm not good at it at all. Like when I'm on my team, like you're the enemy. Like, that's it. Like at events, like, I don't have a problem like talking to people and stuff like that. But when I'm practicing online and stuff like that, it's kind of like, you know, I have my team. I'm practicing nonstop with my team. Like, I don't want to talk to you about like future events. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I don't get. Like, people are talking about teaming like in the future before the future's even there, and that's like, I don't understand that.
Yeah, no. People like to live way far. I think it's really just like a fail-safe plan, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like, well, I don't know how we're gonna do, so why don't I plant some seeds and see how it works? It's kind of like networking in a weird way. It's
smart, but it's just, I'm terrible at it.
Yeah, well, it's because you're loyal. It's what you get for being loyal, jackass.
Yeah. It's a flaw. I guess it's a flaw.
Throw your morals out the window, you piece of shit. So now, AGL8 happens. Global Championships. You attended. Where'd you finish?
I don't know if I got first or second. I made it to like Saturday.
Okay, so you were top 64.
Yeah, and then I got knocked out the first round, so I got top 64 then.
Okay.
Right? Is that what I got?
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, the championships are pretty cool. I mean, to be honest, an 8-minute FFA, I'm a pretty good FFA player.
Yeah, you finished at Reach in the top 8.
Yeah, and I should have got, like, second. I choked.
Mm-hmm.
I choked in this FFA, to be honest. I had like a 4-kill lead with, like, a minute left, and then it's an FFA. Everything I shoot gets cleaned up. Everything I nade, I get, you know what I mean? Like, gets one shot cleaned up, like, nothing. Anytime I moved off spawn, two people are looking at me. I tied with Cloud for 4th, and I lost the tie. 8-minute FFA, where you can't separate yourself from your opponent. It's your worst nightmare.
Looking back on the Global Championships, and I've been asking this to everyone just because, you know, I was working Borderlands, so I wasn't there. What would you have liked to see done differently besides, I guess, obviously 4v4?
Yeah, I think that, one, I don't know why, this isn't like a diss to like the company that makes them, but like I don't know why we weren't just playing on regular monitors.
Okay.
I would have liked to known about that. We play on like these like game cases, I guess they're called. I don't know. And then the seats weren't actual seats; they were like high stools. And me, I lean forward a lot, so I'm like, I have like different styles. Like sometimes I'll lean back and play, and other times I'm like just face in front of the TV playing. And when you're sitting like that elevated up, like you can't really. Like, it wasn't comfortable to play.
Yeah, you know what's funny you said that is because Neighbor was actually saying the exact same thing. Because, Neighbor says he puts his back all the way in the back and then leans forward, and he says it wobbles. Did you have the wobbling effect too?
Yeah, it's how it was. It's how it was with every single one. And with Neighbor, it's probably even worse because he sits back like while leaning forward,
yeah.
and you had to be like somewhat close so you could plug in your sound. So it's like it's got to be even worse.
Yeah. So minus the stools, anything else like?
Not really. I mean,
okay.
I would definitely the monitors. Other than that, I mean, the gameplay. I should have been like a 12-minute at least.
Okay, fair enough. And the only reason is just so you can pull yourself ahead.
Yeah, because an 8-minute FFA. I mean, I give full props to the people that got top 8, but it was random. Anyone in the top 64 could have gotten top 8. The 1v1s I think took skill. Like people, like the plays Ace made and like stuff
insane.
Like that. Like that was insane. But the FFA, like. Anyone could have, like, I mean, who got Contro's in the top 8 and stuff like that. I mean, granted, he's a great FFA player. I'm not trying to, like,
really, really good.
disrespect him, but, like, you got to think, like, Naded is, I watched him, like, he's ridiculous at FFAs.
Insane.
What did he place, like, top 32? You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Like, that's how you see, like, it was that random, where it's, like, 1 kill difference, APG, like, 3 people stop playing, APG gets knocked, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
What did you think... I guess last question on the topic before we start knocking out what everyone actually wants to hear about. What did you think of the whole using zeros?
I mean, it wasn't that bad. To be honest, alright, so like the only problem I had with it is I understand the whole feeding kills thing and stuff like that. I get it. I mean, people do it. One, you could still feed kills because the service tags were still there, like 01, 02, 03. So you could easily just like look down the line, and I could see, like, alright, I'm 2, look 3 seats down, like, 5. Oh, okay, that's Cloud. Alright. And then the only problem I have with it is a part of FFA strategy, and I mean, I don't know if you played FFAs a lot. I think you
I did.
Yeah, so, like, a part of FFA strategy is, like, when it's top 4 advanced, like, you find the person that's in 5th, or the person that's in 3rd, and you rush them, and you make sure they don't get any kills, and that's how FFAs are played.
Yeah, you scroll with the D-pad. Yeah.
Yeah, but when it's 0-0, 0-0-0, that made it harder to do. And then why in the finals they made it people use their actual gamer tags, I feel like that just defeated the whole purpose. I mean, maybe they think because it's for money, like, oh, we won't do it. Like, no. People, you could have like a cent on it, and if someone doesn't want someone in the 4th, like, yeah, they'll probably feed. It's just how it is.
Sweet. Awesome. All right, well, the past is done. We are going to engross ourselves inside the present, where you're from New Jersey, right?
Yeah.
God, I feel sorry for you.
Yeah.
When are you going to move out of that shitty state, by the way?
I'm trying to move, man.
Do you live in the area that smells awful?
I don't think so.
I came up to Rhode Island. As soon as you get on the turnpike, like the first 10 miles, it's just awful.
You're talking about up north. That's like near like where Flame lives. I've gone to Twilight's house, and Twilight's house is probably like a block away from where Flame lives, and yeah, it's
Oh,
pretty bad.
it's awful.
I don't even think it's like their actual area, but it's definitely like driving towards there for some. I don't know what it is.
It's the armpit of America. In fact, I'd be willing to move New Jersey to China. I don't like it. Yeah, I wouldn't mind if you were Chinese. I could see you with a little flag. Anyway, so in the present, I was like, is he fucking from New York or is he from New Jersey? I couldn't remember which one it is.
South Jersey. I'm gonna move soon though. I'm trying to.
Nice.
Eventually.
Where are you looking at, my man?
I know I've had a few things where like I talked probably like a year ago to Dursky about moving to a house in Florida. I think it is like a sister has a house there, so that's a possibility. I mean, I'm in school right now, so it's not gonna happen for a while. But that's all future stuff. I love to go to like California and stuff like that too, but I don't know anyone there, so I don't know how possible that is.
Yeah, it's probably not possible unless you get a job. If you get a job, you're golden, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all you need is just a job.
Yeah, we're trying to play video games and make a living off of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't matter where you live as long as you have an internet connection, I suppose.
Yeah, you can hang out. Well, you couldn't actually hang out at a McDonald's, but you could be damn close.
They got Wi-Fi there.
They do have Wi-Fi there. I don't know what the upload is. The upload's probably atrocious.
Yeah.
You'd have to start uploading videos from this week to get them in next. So, what do you want to talk? I'll give you the option here. I'll play the passive role here. Do you want to talk about your content or do you want to talk about your team first?
I mean, it doesn't matter. I want to talk about both. I don't really care.
You're going to have to pick the order right now. I'm not doing it.
We'll talk about team first because I'm excited for both, but I mean, might as well.
I'll host you the question.
All right.
So, for those of you who have no idea what we're getting ready to talk about, Requiem has lost Legit. Legit joined in on Ambush, and they have acquired the man I'm with right now, and that is going to be Snakebite. Snakes. One, right off the break, walk me through the initial pickup. Like, how that all went. I want everything.
All right. Well, basically, you want me to talk about, like, what I was planning on doing before that, too, or no?
Fuck yeah.
Sorry,
I didn't even think about that. Great call.
I'll sum it up quick. Basically, the team was going to be myself, Royal 2, Ogre 2, and we were trying to get Roy to join. Roy didn't want to come back to play. He doesn't have time to do it. So we tried getting Enable. Enable was kind of like, yeah, let's do it. It'll be cool. It's kind of like status quo without Flame because we have our problems with Flame right now. And then Enable decided to join Dynasty, and then I don't know like how real the offer was. I mean, they're a team now, so it doesn't really matter. But I kind of got offered the spot to join. Like I said, I don't know if he was being truthful or not about the offer, but over what would be Lethal on that team. Yeah, and I kind of was like, oh, well, I don't really want to leave Royal 2 and Ogre 2. I kind of like got them to start playing again, and I was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to leave.
Who offered you that?
Ian. Enable.
Ian.
Yeah, like I said, I think their whole plan is to pick up Lethal the whole time. Bradley and Lethal are like best friends. So I doubt that the offer is like completely real.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Like, oh, like I don't want to leave you, but I mean, I don't want to team with them, type of thing.
Huh? I would never have known that. See, this is why you ask him these questions. See, Snakebite, the reason why I love having you on here is because, like we were talking about before, like I can ask you anything, and I know you're going to give me a truthful answer. You're not going to beat around the bush.
I mean, I used to be like that, where I try to like cover up for people and stuff like that,
yeah.
But there's no point. I mean, no feeling should be hurt. It's all business. I mean, I made a team with who I thought were my best friends, and they left me within like 2 weeks or something like that. And Enable, I see people posting in the chat. Enable wasn't being shady because their team wasn't even fully formed yet. Like this was like before the team was set. He said like, yeah, I think I'm gonna go team with them. Like, yo, do you think? He's like, would you team with them? And I was like, yeah, I don't want to leave Royal 2 and Ogre 2. And this is at the time too, where I'm playing like 6 hours a day. I mean, I still am, but
yes,
like at the start, where I'm like, dude, I just want to win. And I was like, I don't know who's gonna give me that best chance, but I want to win.
Fair enough, man. I'm with it. So now you get contacted by which member of Requiem?
Well, to start, it was I made a tweet. This is kind of like how it all started. I made a tweet. It was something about winning. I forgot what it was. I think it was like, you need to make a team that can win for like more than just one event or something like that. And like this was right after Legit left. Like I think like the same night, maybe it was like the next day. And I was like Dursky like favored it or something like that, and I kind of felt like that was like maybe he thought I was like subtweeting his team and thought I was like trying to them.
Nice.
Yeah, so I like. I mean, I'm like best friend. He's like a brother to me, so I like texting. I was like, dude, like just like that wasn't about you guys like at all. And he was like, oh yeah. And then he sends me a tweet or a text, and he's like, Requiem SB with a question mark, and I was like, oh well, Enable's trying to sketch you out right now. So yeah,
there
dude.
you go.
Yeah, and I was like, well, I don't know, because I want to team with Road 2 and Over 2 still, so I don't know, I don't really know. So that's kind of how it started, and then I think it was like the next day or 2 days later, I was playing like 6 to 8 hours. Road 2, I heard a team that might be happening with Road 2 with like Nated, Goofy, Maniac.
Yeah, I think that
Go
one's almost like set in stone.
Is it? I don't know how real it is. I'd be so happy for him if it is, because they'd definitely be a good team. But Royal 2 at the time, like I feel like when it comes to Royal 2, because he doesn't really like Halo 4, at least he didn't. Maybe he does now, I don't know. But I would like try to get him to come back, because I know how good he will be. He will be a monster at the game.
Yeah, for sure. There's no doubt about it. He's natural.
I try to get him to come back because I know he can win. And a part of me felt like I was kind of like forcing him to get on the play. Like before Ian left or before anything like that, I would text him and be like, yo, like, dude, do you really want to do this? Because this is going to be a lot of hours like being put in because we have to catch up. And he like didn't text me back, or like, you know how they are, like they're all like just sarcastic, and like he didn't really like give me a straight answer. And then Ogre 2 even said that he was talking to him, and that and he was like, yeah, he's like, Royal 2 just sounds really unsure, and he's like, because this is after the offer. Yeah, so I was like, all right, well, I mean, I can't force him to play. I'd love to team with him, but this is a good opportunity. It was after I got done streaming one night. I was playing like 8 hours, something like that. Ace, I think Ninja and Dursky were like all on my stream, and people like already started calling them out about it. I got them playing for the night. I played like 10 hours that day. Jesus. And then I turned off my stream, and I got a text to get online, and then that's kind of how it was. I talked to him about it too, because one of my biggest concerns was like Dursky and I mean, we've had our ups and downs obviously because of team changes, but yeah. We're best friends. I mean, we're best friends. I really consider that. Kid's like a brother to me. I stayed at his house for like 3 weeks at a time.
Jesus.
Yeah. So like one of the things I said was like, look, dude, like, I get it. Like, I understand why you'd want to team with me just because of friendship alone, but I haven't done a whole lot to really deserve. You know what I mean? It's a fact. Like, I haven't done a lot to deserve to get on Requiem or anything like that. I mean, granted, will I? Sure, but did I at the time? No. So I was like, that's one thing that went into when the offer came. I kind of was like, this can't be a friendship thing. This is like strictly just, this is business. You know what I mean? And a lot of personal things were said. Like, I mean, obviously, like good personal things. Just about we've teamed before. We have great teamwork. Like, obviously, chemistry's there. When it came to events, him and I both said like we're probably most confident teammate I've ever been with. Like when it came to knowing like he's gonna step up, he's gonna communicate and stuff like that. And I mean he felt the same way with me. So
sweet, badass. So now, one, I know the answer, but I just gotta ask it anyways. How do you like being on the team?
Being on the team is great. One of the reasons why I really like being on Requiem is because. Obviously, they put in a lot of time. Ninja, Durst, Ace, all ridiculous. Like Ace is probably
damn near an understatement.
Yeah, Ace is probably. You guys don't even know this, but we got done scrimming last night, and like we go in theater, and Ace literally breaks the game down like no other. Like seriously.
Really?
Yeah, and like you wouldn't really know that about him. And,
no.
And the reason why this is a perfect fit for me is because of how much they play is gonna contribute to how fast I learn. And I mean like. I'm not afraid. This is one thing people think is like I'm afraid to like criticize them. Like no, like I still know what it takes to win and stuff like that. Like we'll have like those stupid plays where you overextend and stuff like that. Like I'm not afraid to call out Ninja or anything like that. And they were clear that they want me to
do that stuff.
But the reason why they're a perfect fit for me is because they not only played so much. Like Status Quo played a lot or somewhat a lot, but they don't have a problem explaining the game. Like they know. Like they're just some plays. Like I'll be honest, I'm like, yeah, I didn't know what to do, and then they just break it down what to do specifically. So obviously being on the team is great. I'm learning really quick on what to do.
Would you say in that sense that Ace is basically the team captain?
I'd say in game In game maybe him or Dursk. Ninja. I don't know who actually has like the team captain rights. I think when it comes to
regardless of rights, because as you and I both know, the rights mean basically damn near nothing.
I think when it comes to breaking down the game, Ace, because he's definitely like he'll rip you a new one if you do something wrong. So I guess that can be like a captain role.
I would never guess that.
Yeah, you wouldn't. Dursk and they're kind of like co-leaders. I feel like it's like Ace will like not like put you down, but he'll like you know what I mean. Like he doesn't put you down like with your gameplay, but he'll tell you what you did wrong, and then like you have Dursk like, yo, dude, like don't worry about it. Like, dude, just keep your head up. Like we got this.
Yeah, Mr.
I'm
Positivity.
I'm like, oh, all right, yeah, that's good. And then like with Ace too, like you wouldn't expect him to like criticize you. So when he does say something to me, like I'm like, oh, dude, like I can't disappoint him. Like, you know, what am I doing? Like I don't know why. Like,
he doesn't smile. Like, you never know. I would almost be afraid of Ace. Because like I've never met anyone in my entire life.
He's probably one of the smartest kids I've ever teamed with. Not just teamed with, I've ever met. He's smart. He's a genius.
Oh, he's really fucking smart. But like I've never met anyone in my entire life who won $200,000 and didn't fucking smile.
Yeah, no, that's him. I don't know. He's a focused person. That's just how he is. Even like when we were teaming, I was like, oh, Aaron, like, you know, because I think he's going for, like, chemical engineer or something like that.
Yeah, he's something up there, yeah.
So, like, I was like, dude, like, you know, I want to be on your team, but are you going to be playing a lot? Because that's what I need. I need a team that plays a lot, even if it's not the best team right now. And he was like, what are you trying to say? You trying to say I'm, like, happy? Winning $200,000? I was like, no, dude, like, aren't you, like, you know, like, busy with school? And he's like, dude, I want to win. He's like, it doesn't matter. I'm like, all right, dude, like, whatever.
That's awesome.
I could just, like, picture him saying it, like, you know, not cracking a smile or anything like that.
Oh, no smile.
Yeah.
Yeah. The fucking Elam's loins, man. Just excrete excellence. Now, you guys were able to play yesterday. You scrimmed against Ambush. Did you use V4 or V5?
I think we used both. I'm not too, I think we used, I don't know. We used V4 for, like, the beginning, and then, like, the ending, we used V5.
All right, so talking about just the scrim then, and then we'll end on game types, and then I'll let you do and then we'll hit the content real quick. I guess real quick on the game, or how it went. How did you like the squad? What did you think of the new Ambush? Go.
Well, one, we scrimmed before this. We haven't lost a series yet. Trying to think. We like 5-0 Dynasty, 5-0 Classic, 6-5 Dynasty. We were up 5-1. That was stupid. We should have, I don't know, whatever. And then Ambush, we won 7-4. Team's good. The one thing that's like kind of hard for us to do, it kind of sounds like cocky or something like that. Like I feel like our teamwork is really good. Like I mean, it's just how it is with those players. Like you know that the teamwork's going to be there. When we start getting a lead, and even like in a series, like you know how it is. Like when you're a top team and you start getting a lead, and like I'll be honest, like one of the extraction games we played Ambush, like we like 5-0'd them. And, like, the next game, you could tell it's not nearly the same intensity. And, like, that's something that I pointed out yesterday where it's like, that can't happen. Like, habit is what wins you events. Like, by constantly staying just nonstop communicating, like, you want to win that game you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like,
I get exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't know if it made that much sense what I said. Some people get it. But, one of our problems was, I mean, any lead that Ambush got yesterday, and this is just like my opinion. I'm sure they probably think they choked on some games. They had like 2-0 lead on one flag game. It was really just our own fault. Like on the Simplex flag game, I posted on my YouTube. We'll get to that later on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, but, I mean, we're gonna go segue right into it.
Yeah, but they had like a 3-0 lead, and it was simply because they countercapped us twice. And like the first cap was like we had overshield, 4 dead, and the flag was running to our base, and they killed us. And I was like, all right, well, I mean, like in one sense, like that's a great play by them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at another sense, like you're kind of like, well, at an event, like does that really? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's something that can. I mean, we already know what we did wrong. That's not going to happen again.
Yeah. So do you know if it was V5 Simplex that you were playing or V4?
I think it was. I'm trying to think. It was V5. I think we played a flag game on V4 and then a Slayer on V5, and we won both Simplexes. So. Okay,
now, so the V4, well, fuck. When you play V5, assuming the spawn system hasn't changed, can you let me know? Because, okay, so let's say you kill all 4, right? And
Yeah.
it's like perfect, and you're running the flag. You can't throw the flag out, and you're running the flag out. You know that first guy who spawns when you connect with one bullet to him. Like let's say he spawns purple, right?
Yeah.
And you connect with that one bullet. His teammates end up spawning yellow.
Yeah. Okay.
You know?
I know. I know.
You know what I'm talking about now, right?
I'm pretty sure that's still.
That's still there.
Yeah, I'm almost positive. We didn't play simplex flags, so that's the only reason why.
Ooh,
I wouldn't be able to tell you specifically. But we did play dispatch, and dispatch was kind of. I felt like it was like this. It's like mainly the same feel. The only thing I noticed that was different was we played Skyline V4 on flag, and we played Skyline Slayer. And I've only played like limited Skyline Slayers. Obviously, like not playing a whole lot. But yeah, I could kind of tell you I didn't play that great that game, and I was like, I didn't know where they were coming from. That's how I felt, and I don't know if it was because it's just a not knowledge of the game, or if it was just spawns. I think Ninja said like it was probably the spawns that you haven't played.
Well, all you need to know on Skyline, my friend, I will teach you. The one thing you need to learn is that, well, in V4, I have no idea about V5 yet. I haven't put any time into V5 at all, and I'll be the first to say that. The one thing that happens is it's basically 90% of the time they're spawning benches. Like, period. Like,
I have flag. I have flag down to the side.
Oh, Team Slayer. Oh, Team Slayer is a fucking whirlwind.
Like, you kill them over here, and then all of a sudden they're spawning behind you, and I'm like, this is like... So...
Okay, did you play Halo 3? Midship Ball. Or Heretic Ball.